Peace and blessings to the YouTube. Peace and blessings to the YouTube. Get my little scriptures handy. Waiting for some people to come in. I'd love to have a conversation about this title right here. Who sent you? God, Christ, or the Bible? Who sent you? Who really sent you? I wanna hear what people are saying about this, because I can't believe this, because I can't believe in none of y'all. I can't. Why should I listen to you if you ain't even Christ? Why should I listen to you if you ain't even Christ? If you're not even the... Yeah, y'all. So hopefully we can have some good conversation, bring some understanding, some clarity, some good news that's happening right now. Good news that's out on the street about this prophecy that's going on right now about the order that's being reestablished on the earth. Because I'm a part of that manifestation. Our organization, our movement is a part of that is just blasphemy. Let's talk about it. We can't agree on much, but we can. That's a cult mentality. That's not free thinking. No, and I'm giving the opposition this attention because there's a reason that they're there. There's a reason that the opposition is there. You know, there's a reason. It's to show how thick the deception is, how dark the darkness is. We have a movement that is prophetic. This is prophecy that we was going to come together and that we was going to restore our people mentally and physically and all that. Take back our lands. First taking back our minds so that the leaders can get the government together. The leaders of the government can come together and get the lands back for the people. That's in the prophecy. That's in the prophecy. So like, for us to be telling you this and people so stuck in their imaginations of how it's supposed to be and how Jesus is supposed to show up, and all the hatred that's coming is only to make the light shine brighter, be like, and then to encourage the people who are supposed to be a part of it, you know, to really show like, yeah, the waters are like, it's a set apartness when you can see this, because a lot of our brothers are so lost. Most of them are. Most of our sisters are so lost, you know. So it's to encourage the people who are being set apart by God to do this good work. So what's this good work? Why would the Bible be talking about the revolution? And why did nobody tell us that the Bible was talking about the revolution? They didn't want to tell us the Bible was talking about the revolution because they didn't want to do the revolution. They didn't want to deal with the wickedness in high places. They couldn't even deal with the wickedness in low places. They couldn't even deal with, like them pastors knew they shouldn't have been taking tithes and offerings from the people who, you know, who they know don't got it. They knew they shouldn't have been doing that. But they couldn't not do it because they couldn't get past the low-level darkness. They knew they shouldn't have been teaching that Bible. But they couldn't stop teaching the Bible because they couldn't get over their fear of the world. Oh, well, everybody's been hyping me up and saying that I'm a good pastor, and you know, I know that some don't feel right about, you know, having all these God's sheep in my hand like this. Something don't feel right about having a congregation and me being the spokesman for God right now. Some don't really feel right about me being a Hebrew camp leader, but everybody says I should be, so I'm gonna just do it. Or you know, so everybody has their own reasons that that they don't want to let go of the ways of the world. You know, so they don't have the courage now to deal with the principalities in the higher places, in the deeper places, which is what? Healing the whole world, the whole truth. You know, like, can you handle the truth when it really gets bitter? When it gets real bitter, the truth. You know, if You know, so a lot of people are really actually mad that the prophecy is happening right now and the judgment is happening right now. That's what's going on. People are just mad that judgment is going on right now and prophecy is going on right now. Because there's work to do. And they want the work to be going to the hospitals and laying their hands on the sick people in the bed. They want the work to be going to the countries and convincing people to go to churches and build churches in the neighborhoods and be evangelists. That's what they want the work of God to be. So they're going to keep doing the work of God. Because they like the way that people react. Because they like the way that people react. And the gifts of this world that they get. They like all the vanity, all the fakeness. They love it. They don't want the work of God to be the revolution. So now it's simple work that needs to be done. It's simply, bringing back principles to heal the people's minds. Bringing back principles, that create unity. Letting people know what the plan is. So that these leaders can come forth and bring that enlightenment about these principles. Like, look, y'all, let every man be a liar. Don't forget it. Like, that's something that we need to remember real bad when it comes to God. Let every man be a liar. We need to remember that real bad. The wicked people who are over us right now, they're only people. They're literally just men and women like me and you. So all they had to do to get to the position that they're in is to trick us real bad. So what do we have to do? Come together with the truth and judge them. It's very simple. It's very simple. So that's why we have the judgment. That's why we've been able to send out the paperwork already to the Holy See and the British Empire, the Roman Catholic Church, for the things that they've done to our people, to all people, deceiving the world, colonizing the world, because they deceived the world. They put themselves in these positions of, I'm the king, I'm the pope, I'm the bishop, I'm the son of God, and y'all are all cattle in this farm. They created these religions they created these religions to put themselves in that position. That's what's been done. So on our part, the enlightenment is joining with the team that knows exactly what they did. Because they had to taste something true. Like, it is true that you have the King of Kings. It is true that you have a righteous city on the earth, that you have a capital of the world. Because, that's how the world is all unified with the same thought. It has to start with one. It can't be everyone on the same page if the first guy wasn't on the same page first. There isn't, so it's simply getting back to that oneness of mind, that one world order, that togetherness as humanity. And we on the way. It's simply, who's going to rise up to judge for it? Who's going to tell the truth that shames the devil? You know, so soon these wicked principalities isn't going to have 2 feet to stand on. And that's a fact. They're not going to have 2 feet to stand on, y'all. You know, like Easter. Right now, they're standing on Easter. That's how they're in power. They're standing on Easter, y'all. That's how the Pope says he's the Pope. And the King Charles says that he's King Charles. Because they stand on Easter. That's exactly how they do it. They stand on a lie that they don't believe in, but they made you believe in it. And that's their authority in the paperwork that you don't read. He resurrected. He made the Roman Catholic Church Peter. On Peter I built this rock. And this is the foundation of the earth. The lands and all the heavens belong to them. You don't read these things because you're not supposed to know. Until the Christ is risen. You know, that's how I know. That's how I know what they did, because I wasn't looking into it. I wasn't thinking that far. That's how I know, because the Christ, the real one, he brings that truth. He brings that light. He brings that reality back to the prophecy. Like, right now, we're reading the prophecy without reality. We're reading it in La La Land Disney Channel, like they've given to us, and that's how they colonize us, with the La La Land Disney Channel. But no, he really does come with the reality that, you know, is simply just a task that needs to be done. That's all it is. It's a task that needs to be done. You know, like a big part of the task, right? A big part of the task, a big part of this house that we're building, because we are a tribe of people, a team, you know, a family, a group, just like you read all throughout the book. Is a group of people who got on the ark. It's a group of people who was rolling with Moses. It's a group of disciples. So a big part of the plan is building a government for our people. Okay, y'all. Jesus never sent y'all to be on top of the world. Jesus never sent y'all to have us go into court putting our hands on the Bible. Jesus never sent y'all to have us, you know, signing off our rights away to you. You know, signing our children away to you as soon as they're born. Like, God, you know, that's not God, even though you say it's God. We know that. So y'all can let the people go now. Let the people go, Pharaoh, right? So when Pharaoh lets the people go, who's gonna take care of the people? You know, who's the new shepherd? Where are the leaders at? Where are the new kings of the earth at? Because these people need to be on one accord. These people need to all know the same thing. You know, they'd be terrible leaders if they wasn't trying to get together to lead the people. You know, we need leaders who are ready to unite for God. So that's what the prophecy is about. It's about uniting the leaders so that you know, the world can be put back in a rightful order, in a righteous order. And you know what makes this really what makes this really hard is the teachers and leaders, man. The pastors who are scattering the sheep. That's the only thing that makes it difficult is our people who is spreading lies and things that they haven't seen or heard. Cause it could really all be so simple, y'all. It could all be so simple, and it should be. Do please request up if you have a question. I kind of don't read the comments too much. So if you have a question, you want to come up, please request up. Yeah, I want to really speak to the people who think that they're speaking for Jesus right now, because I know that's a lot of y'all. I know a lot of y'all think that you're speaking for Jesus right now. And I want to know how, like, because I know you're not speaking for Jesus. I know you're not speaking for Jesus, but you know, of all the people who's not speaking for Jesus, because we can at least, everybody knows that everybody's not speaking for Jesus. Everybody's not speaking for Jesus. So when the people who are lying on Jesus shut up, isn't the world supposed to know peace? Because then everybody will know Jesus, so everybody will have the peace. If all the people who was actually lying on Jesus actually shut up. In fact, if everybody shut up, except for Jesus himself, I mean, I bet God wouldn't even be waiting on nothing else after that. God would just come right on then. If everybody shut up, everybody shut up except for Jesus, God would probably send Jesus on that day. If all the pastors stopped talking, everybody just shut up, Jesus, God would send Jesus that day, I'm sure. Because right now, what God is doing is he's putting on a show so that we can get a good understanding of how to run our house. You know, like as humanity, as a whole people all over the earth, we need to remember how to run our house. You know, we need to remember how to you know, get back to living again amongst each other how we used to, or how we're supposed to, at least how we're designed to. Like we have to come back to that remembrance. So God is putting on a show right now. God is making an example. God is making a fool out of the fools and lifting up examples, you know, raising up righteous ones to be that example, so that we understand how our house is to be maintained, because we taking over the world. This is the apocalypse. This is that Armageddon. This is that all that. The world has never been so dark. So this is that light of the world. Right now, our generation. Not shocking considering everything that's going on. So yep. I'm saying that we're going from the world being so dark to the world being so light. So what God is doing right now is God is putting on a show. God is putting on an example of how all of humanity is going to keep the peace. Because don't everybody pray for world peace? Okay, how are we going to keep the peace? How is it never going to get messed up again? When everybody goes to heaven, how is humanity going to stay behaved so that can't nobody take us out of his hand again? How are we going to actually keep it, create a house so strong that nobody can blow it down? So God is putting on a show right now. That's why everybody's arguing about the Bible. God is making fools out of these people. That's why everybody's getting up and having seizures in church, calling it the Holy Ghost. God's making a fool out of people. Making a fool out of people who act like and lie to themselves about things that they've never seen or heard. God is making a fool. And God is lifting up righteous examples of people who actually stand on what they know. You know, people who actually fear God. Who actually respect God. God is making that example because these are the people who's actually removing the devil from the earth forever. We ain't just talking. These people this is about the revolution. This isn't no like revelation like people think they have. This is about the revolution. You know, we have a judgment against the Roman Catholic Church. We're who the Roman Catholic Church pretends that they are. Who the British Empire pretends that they are. Who the so-called J-ish people pretend that they are. Or the leaders, at least. The so-called elites. We call them elites. They're an elite. So it's a group of people who's actually elite. You know, I'm not talking about all skin folk. No, I'm talking about a small group of people who's actually putting in the work for the revolution. And knows the truth under all the lies about the religions. Every single lie, we know the truth under it. Because the truth is the conqueror. You know, this Bible got some truth to it, but it don't got everything in it. We know everything. You know? Same thing with the Quran. The Quran got some truth to it, but it don't got everything. Everything that, now that this prophecy is happening, everything that we're doing isn't in these books. Everything we're doing is not in these books. This is something that is living. This is something that is living and breathing and flowing among men and women, of course. This isn't something that's like you could just read and teach about it. This is something that you're a part of, even if you don't know that you're a part of it, because prophecy really is real. This is real. Not to convince people, of course, you know. But if you believe that God can trick the world, do you believe that somebody can know what they got tricked about? Do you believe that somebody can cast down all the lies and expose all the lies, even if everybody won't believe it? We can expose all the lies. We can expose all the lies one by one until they don't exist no more. If you believe that we could have gotten lied to, you know, you should believe that somebody can know what they lied about to remove the lies. And you should believe that these people is going to win in the end. And so, yeah. We know exactly what they lied to us about when it comes to the Jesus story. We know the real fulfillment of the prophecy. Is really about the principalities in the high places. It's really about the deep psychosis of the people. And how this all stems from the colonization. Church and state. This has to go all the way to the big boss. This has to go all the way to the big boss, y'all. It can't, you know, it can't be real if it don't go all the way to the big boss. This is just a hope and a wish and a prayer if it don't conquer the world. It's just a half-truth if it don't force all the lies in the world to pass away. That's what everybody's talking about when they talk about Jesus. You know, if what you're saying isn't conquering the world, what you're saying isn't bringing true understanding and unity, because nobody has that in church. You disagree with your pastor, and they don't even let you raise your hand and ask a question. You disagree with your neighbor about Jesus. So whatever you believe in about Jesus is not it don't actually come from God, because it's not the conqueror of all religions. It don't reach all the way up to Pharaoh's ears, so it don't come from God. No, but this is what comes from God, y'all. This what I'm speaking about is what comes from God. And you know, that's why Yaju is here, because he's the first one who is begotten of God. The only one begotten of God. You know how it was Moses and then Aaron and Miriam? How it was Noah and then his family? How it was Christ and then the disciples? That anointed one is on the earth right now, is what we're telling you, what we've been telling you. He's here. He's in the flesh. The God has chosen another vessel to lead the people in the ways of God. God has chosen that other vessel. So he's finna overthrow all these wicked systems. We are finna overthrow all these wicked systems. What he's done, what he's doing. Because it's really the truth. So it's going to get all the way up to the big dogs, because it don't matter where you run, where you hide. You're not going to be able to lie when it comes to none of these ideas about God. You're not going to be able to hide. You know how everything comes to the light eventually when the people start waking up. So no matter what people have tried to hide when it comes to God, it's going to have to be shut down. That's all the Christians, every single one of them. They're not waiting on Jesus. They're not waiting on the Lord. They don't know what the Lord's finna say when he shows up. All these people are going to have to shut up because the real one's really here. All the Muslims, all the religions. All the governments that are built off of these false religions. You know that's what they put in their paperwork. You know they say God sent us. You know that's what they put in their paperwork. You know they say God sent us.